The G1 Climax starts tomorrow and Low Blows are doing a prediction league, so if you're one of those people who hasn't made your predictions yet, you don't know what to predict, then you are in luck, because I am your host, hardcore as fuck, New Japan fan, Corporate Keanu. I studied Japanese for 3 years, and that's literally all I know. And tonight, I'll be telling you who is winning the G1 and who is walking home empty-handed. So of course we're starting with Block A, and we're starting with Michael Elgin. Okay, so the first participant of Block A is Evil, and for me it just seems he's evil, he's a bad person more than likely, bad karma will get in his way, so despite his talent, he'll probably only finish somewhere like 7th maybe. Then there's Bad Luck Fail, a man his size should be winning the whole thing without question, but if you look really closely at his name, it says bad luck at the start. So I feel like there'll be some bad luck playing into his tournament aspirations, and he'll probably only finish 2nd. Togi Makabe, I've never really heard of this lad, so I'm probably I'll just put him 9th. And then of course, Kazuchika Okada. This is a man who everyone's talking about. They're saying, he's one of the greatest of all time. But I watched Dominion and he lost to Kenny Omega, which means he's obviously not that good. But people say he's good, so I feel like a satisfactory bronze medal. 3rd place, I think, is suitable for him. Then there's Hangman Page. He's a member of the Bullet Club, but, the Bullet Club, they're decent, but they're not as good as LAX. And I feel like in this tournament, it's the same story. He's good enough to do well, but there are people around him that are much better, so for that reason I would put Hangman at around 5th. Minoru Suzuki, I feel, has motivation here because the car sales of Suzuki has dropped, and I feel that might anger him because he shares a name with the car. It might fuel him, it might give him that hunger to go out and get the win, and for that reason I think he is finishing 1st. Hiroshi Tanahashi, another person I've heard a lot of hype surrounding, but apparently he's old, so he'll probably only finish maybe 4th. Jay White then, he wrestled for OTT before, and I saw it was against Marty Scurll. Scrap Mania 3, he did alright. So I think this time he'll do alright again and finish 6th. Yoshihashi, obviously there's only one spot remaining, he's going to finish 8th, but I do have reason for this. If you look closely at Evil's name, it's all in capital letters, it's really loud, it's like it's being shouted at you. And the same can be said for Yoshihashi's name. It's like it's being shouted at you. It's a real loud name. And I feel like when you look at the law of attraction, the two are more than likely to end up next to each other in the rankings at the end. So 7th and 8th, I feel, is a fair place to put these two. Then we've got Block B, and here we'll start with Haruki Goto, who has an extra O in his first name that I don't really think needs to be there, and I feel like that'll stress him out. He'll be thinking about it throughout the tournament. Someone will probably ask him in one of his matches, why do you have a 2nd O in your first name? And that might put him off. So I feel he'll probably finish last as a result of that. Kota Ibushi is someone I'm very familiar with as a hardcore New Japan fan myself. I've seen him in the CWC, and he was good. Not the best. He didn't win, but he was good. So I feel like he'll finish 2nd. Tomohiro Ishii is someone with a lot of talent, but he's got Matt Riddle to worry about at OTT. Like, New Japan's a big deal, but it's not as big a deal as OTT. That's his main focus, so for that reason, I feel like he's only going to finish 5th. Naito. Someone I hear a lot about, and someone who has a lot of talent. But he keeps doing this thing with his eye that makes me feel as though he's got hay fever. And hay fever is no joke. I had it these past 2 months. They can really affect your performance, especially when you're wrestling. So I feel like he's going to be 4th, and I don't think he'll be any higher despite his talent. Kenny Omega. Again, he's alright. In football terms, he'd be like a mid-table team. He'd be like a Leicester City of the G1. I feel like he'll overachieve. I feel he'll finish 3rd, but not really any higher. Juice Robinson. This is a man who is a former NXT star, but I don't know if he still has what he once had. So for that reason, I would probably just put him 8th. Zack Sabre Jr. This is someone who, in normal circumstances, could probably go on and win it. But because of the World Cup, because England couldn't bring it home, I feel like he'll be very sad about that. It'll play into his mentality going into this tournament, and I feel it'll distract him, and as a result, he'll only finish 6th. Sanada, an X Division star. Does he have what he once had? Again, I would say probably not, so I would have him finish 7th. Then we have Tama Tonga, the sexiest man in wrestling today. Holy shit, look at him. That is a man who is going all the way here. He is finishing top of this table, and there's no doubt in it in my mind. Which leaves Toru Yano, who finishes 9th. Then this leaves with the final. Minoru Suzuki versus Tama Tonga. And for me, there is no question Tama Tonga beats Suzuki because he's a good wrestler. I have no idea what I'm talking about.